I am never satisfied.
I wanted to sing rap during the whole. It's like a wicka wicka wicka
It's like,
wicka wicka
It's my James Bond kind of.
I like it. Right.
Love it.
But what movie, James Bond, though? I don't feel it's like a Roger Moore kind of thing.
It's definitely Skyfallish.
It's definitely so. It's a Daniel Craig thing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know. Who was your favorite Bond?
I mean, obviously, Sean. I can see him in my sights.
He's a very nice guy.
Sean Connery definitely is the OG, but I don't know. I like Craig. I think he does a great job at it. I haven't seen the new one yet, so
I don't know. All my friends watched it, and obviously, it's like it was kind of our thing to go watch it together. With everything that's happened, it was one thing we didn't go watch this one together, and I was kind of weirded out by it because we were like our troop was supposed to go out and so it was going to be like Mercedes and BMWs and drive up and do the whole we trying to dress nice for it and all that stuff. But we didn't do it this time, and it was kind of like I don't know if it was because of the movie or maybe there's a lot of climate change that's and not as in weather, but like the way the climate of these movies, you know what I mean? You can't really make the old Bond. Like, remember how it was before? It was like these womanizing thing. You can't do that anymore. Like that's just, so it was kind of like, was it the death of Bond? And then they're like, we're going to go forward and do more with this. I'm like, what are you going to do with it? Like, is there still room for Bond? And that goes back to the whole suits and wine and watches and all that stuff. So I don't know. Is luxury dead? I don't know. We'll find out. But
I don't know. But welcome to the Let's Talk Live podcast.
Wait a minute, we went live?
Damn.
That's what that was. I thought you were just playing the intro for me.
YouTube.
The best ever.
How are you, man?
I am great. Amazing. Like everybody else has the flu but me. Done.
By the way, do you like the new camera? Nice, clear. In HD now. You can see all my flaws.
Exactly. You have color.
And maybe at some point I might actually turn the camera up to 4K because this does do 4K. So I'd be interested to see what that does. But how was your week so far, man? We had a great show on Sunday. We've been working diligently behind the scenes to line up some more guests. I've been literally calling out Anthony Farah from Timepiece. Gentlemen, if you're watching, Anthony, I'd love to have you on my show. There is so much going on in your world, and I'd love you to come over and tell us your story. But
yes, absolutely.
Anyway, how's everything over in the Primo camp? Good?
It's going crazy. I filmed my first 360 virtual reality drive video. My other podcast show is actually now visual on Spotify. So I guess they're going to try to do something. Yeah. So if everything is going right, the car scene stuff that I do will be on Rumble, YouTube, and now Spotify. And I don't know if everybody has that, but I don't even know how do you view it. I haven't even viewed my own video on Spotify yet, but and the other thing too is it just transposes it. So being on Apple, Google, Amazon, I don't know if there's something I'm not on, but yeah, it really is going out, and I'm going to get something like the cool setup you have here, which I'm really jealous about. And do something
setup than me. You have a full module studio in your freaking basement.
How do I do all this and not be tech savvy? It's weird. It's like,
the same thing with me. I can't figure. Right. I sit down, like I have the double monitors now, the new camera. I couldn't figure the freaking camera out. Yeah. My Stream Deck's not working the way I want it to work. So that's pissing me off. I have all the gadgets to do the show. I can't run any of them.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
But I can do YouTube. But
I
can't run
fumble.
any technology.
I fumble around in the dark, and it is what it is. But yeah, it's working. It's getting out, and that's the thing is saying we're gonna have look. Whoa!
What was that? Wayne's World? Extreme close up.
I love it. That is the best. Oh my god!
I have the ability to do all this stuff.
I don't have that one yet. See, I just have this one.
Yeah, the double camera.
Yeah,
and then I can go back to my look at this terrible old camera I had. It's so awful now.
Wah wah wah.
So much better.
The light. So you did something with your lighting that makes it look better. That's the truth. Did you something
the
about
settings on my camera?
Well, that was it. The aperture or the
well, this camera,
all the words
this
now.
is an actual digital. It's like probably what you're doing. You use an actual camera. That's
right.
What I have now. Sony ZV-1, great camera.
Yeah,
Sony's
good.
You can,
right.
If you want to sponsor,
I got stuck. I got stuck with Panasonic and Nikon, and that's my.
Those are great.
So
I was a Nikon user forever, and then I think just out of accessibility and just ease of use. Right. And what this camera can do, it's a great vlogging camera, it's a great webcam, and does everything I need to do.
That's what I love about kind of the world we live in now. I came from a time when I made content, and where do you put it? Like, how do you get it out? How do people watch?
Right.
And you had this. It's very deflating to put all this emphasis in, get all this power and energy, and then just basically just flub it. Like, so Street Fire, Car Domain, then MySpace, all that stuff. And I mean, not many people did it right. And today you pick up your phone, plug a little thing into it. There's guys out there right now that literally have a little a donut light, their phone in the center of it. They press play and they've got little, the little fuzzy microphones plugged up, and they run a show like this. And it's like, what the heck, and I got a table and 5 cameras, and it's like, oh, how are you going to put that stuff together? It's still they do it easier than I do. So
you know how quick everything is today. You literally can start a YouTube channel in 10 minutes, and I did that today. I have a new YouTube channel. I'm going to drop the link below. It is all dedicated to my new cat.
I cannot wait.
I started it in 10 minutes, so I got 2 videos up already, and then tomorrow I'll have some time. I'm hoping to do like an introductory video tomorrow. Right. But I did some experimentation on this channel. I dropped the shorts and gained 5 subscribers overnight.
Isn't that crazy?
Animals work.
Is that a problem for the should I be angry at that? Should I be upset? We went from an hour world to a 30-minute world to a 10-minute world to a 30-second world to a 15-second world, and now it's the short TikTok universe, and I don't even know what to think about it.
Well, that's because everybody's attention span is so small. And this is going to be great because I think this is going to lead into our main topic, what we're going to talk about tonight: technology, cars. You were telling me Lamborghini dropped a new car over this weekend in New York. And I'm curious to see and hear about this, and I have some questions afterwards that I want to ask and see what you think. But so tell me about it. What's going on?
So the Lamborghini made this new car, the Technica. It's an evolution of kind of the Huracan brand. So they have 2 big platforms Lamborghini always has. They've always had their powerhouse V12. And then later on, they brought out the Gallardo, their 10-cylinder. So they have like the sporty little fast car. Everybody kind of criticizes that car when it first came out. But then we've kind of found out that this car is kind of faster and more nimble because it's smaller and it's made to, basically like, just the more light and nimble, if you will. So they made that. Then they made the Huracan was the answer to kind of master what the Gallardo was supposed to be. And then they've evolved the Huracan over time. Now, in the last couple of years here, they made a version called the Performante. The Performante is just an incredible straight track, no holes barred, like everything that we always said Lamborghini represented. And then they said, you know what? People bought this thing in droves. You couldn't keep up with it. So they made a new one called the Evo. And then they realized the sales were really good on the race car. So they made a full-on Look up the STO if you get a chance, because that thing is crazy. And so they made the STO, and kind of it was in limited numbers, but it was a little out there, like crazy colors and all that. But it was a full bred race car for the street. And then they said, you know what? We need to get all this technology and all this stuff we've learned and kind of make that middle ground car that will be able to take everything we learned and make this top of the line Huracan. And this is what came out of it. And it's just crazy. The amount of dynamics, the way it works. Let's see. I want to get this. So it's 640 horsepower.
Yeah, I have the specs down below. Hang on.
Yeah, 3,040 pounds with a top speed of 202 miles per hour. So, and it's very nimble.
62 miles an hour in 3.2 seconds.
And one thing they really mastered with this car is about the way the way the air flows through the car was something that the Performante did really well. They kind of upgraded it with active dynamics when it came to the Evo. They started doing what they're doing here. As you can see, the way aero goes through the vehicle. So you see the vents that they added with inside the lights. And that also added to being able to force air into the cooling ducts of the brakes to allow the brakes to really do their thing. And that was really great. One thing I loved about this commercial, and I sent you over the video over earlier. Yeah. But that video, the way it wasn't just the car, because this year they unveiled it in Manhattan at the Lamborghini Lounge. So it wasn't done at a dealership. It wasn't done at some third party thing.
Right.
This is a lounge dedicated to Lamborghini owners, and the Lambo guys that have bought Lamborghinis, they got the invite. They got to come in and share that space with them. And it was just specific with the Roger Dubuis actually unveiled one of their watches, I believe.
Yeah, you were telling me about that
at the same event. So it wasn't just about being the car. Yeah. It was about being the atmosphere. So when they I really wasn't knowing what to expect, because they do these launches, and the launch videos are amazing. Yeah. But they did this launch video, and it has a section in it based on the idea of what it is to be a Lamborghini owner. Mm-hmm. And it is absolute marketing genius.
Before I play the video,
I
get a question. Gallardo. That's the car that Stradman started his channel with, I think, correct? Does he has a Gallardo, I think.
I don't know.
I think he has a Gallardo. That's what he basically started his channel off of. It's crazy. He has like a 8-car fleet now.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but I would skip right past the Stefan Winkelman, because Stefan is great at positioning a thing. Go back a little bit more. So go back, keep going back. Yeah, right there. Just stop there, and you can play there if you want. But Stefan has a great way of telling people what to expect in a video. They really preemptive the conversation. So he's already told you this is going to be a great car. This is going to be the stuff. And then they hit you with this thing that really says that just off in left field. And I just love how it's positioned.
Let's listen.
How would I describe him in 3 words? Courageous, indomitable, wild. A prince, supremely elegant, impeccable.
I'm probably going to get a copyright strike, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, you can skip around a little bit.
Zipping off to the ocean.
His ideal week is zipping off and doing whatever.
Come Saturday, the tracks.
He goes to the track.
Openings, events, vernissages, charity dinners, conferences. His social life is as hectic as can be.
The person he hangs out most with, himself.
It's crazy.
His favorites: rock and roll.
Is it rock and roll, opera,
jazz,
and jazz? Like it's the whole. It's all music.
His ladder check. It's his uniform.
Definitely a good guy. A bad guy.
He's a mystery.
Well, they're just painting the picture that anybody can own a Lamborghini with their.
He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lambo. He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lambo. He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lamborghini, Huracan Technica.
You can sign that right there.
Lamborghini presents new Huracan Technica.
So the rest of the video is all just technical info and jargon and stuff like that.
To drive.
Sounds so good.
Yeah.
Damn.
Since its first launch in
Yeah, this is all just technical stuff after that. But one thing I loved about that beginning part was, so think about the idea of you're looking at that and you think, imagine, for instance, Rolex sells you a watch, and I doubt Rolex would ever do this, but imagine them making a watch video and it said, what kind of person owns our watch? And there you are with this, who is this person? And it's abstract. And what they're doing, I mean, nobody listens to one style of music, one listens to the thing, but like you said, and you captured it perfectly, was you said anybody can own this car.
Yeah, well,
but they didn't say that too.
You have 240,000.
But they still said it the way they said it. In other words, it's the idea of you want to own this car because this is the person you are. You invert it in your head and you think like, wow, okay, that's me, that's me, that's me. Or you at least want to be that person. The guy, remember the fight? He goes, that's a good guy, to the girl. And then it goes to the guy in the ring, and that's he's a bad guy. And you start seeing this thing. And it really shows why Lamborghini has currently dominated automotive social media. They haven't let up on it. And it's just killer. It's amazing.
So
love it.
I tend to try to stick the three together. You have Lamborghini. When I think luxury car, supercar, hypercar, I guess these are supercar. I would say these are supercars.
Yes, absolutely.
Hypercar would be like a Huayra, like a Pagani Huayra, right? That's
Pagani, Koenigsegg, Porsche 918, big cars. Yep, one-offs.
So if you have, I try to say, I think when people say, what kind of car would you, what kind of luxury car would you like to buy? Someone would probably say Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche. Mm-hmm. Do you think, out of the three, what do you think is the most popular? If you were to poll people,
I'd say, that's
name a luxury car.
Yeah, exactly. And what I don't want to do, because luxury doesn't fit for these. If you said luxury, I would say
car.
Yeah, like BMW and Mercedes. And now you get back to BMW, Mercedes, Audi, it becomes very difficult. And then you get into the supercar arena and and everybody says it. It's Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche. And really they kind of combine that thinking of what am I going to go fastest with on the track? And I think you'd be very hard pressed to find a person that doesn't have kind of that popular thing, like there's no point when, like, I like all three. And the people that really kind of make a choice are going to be the people that own the cars. So those guys are definitely going to take a side, but it's going to be based on what they own and how they're kind of, I want to say mindset is towards it. In other words, if two cars, that the Huracan when it came out and the 458 Italia for the Ferrari were two very similar vehicles. They had very similar numbers, and everybody that owned one that I knew had an extreme different variation of how to describe it and why one was better than the other. And I said, if you put them on the track with a professional, they would do very well. If you put them on the track with people who were just regular people driving it, I don't think they'd be even close to that level.
Right.
So it really is performance, like it's personally based. And I think for the most part, people say, it's like the Countach. I like the Countach. I like the Porsche 911. And then you have your favorite Ferrari, whether it be 360, 430 or like 812, or, I tend to meander among all of them because I think they all drive really well. But yeah, I would be very hard pressed to find out which one. But if you look at it from social media numbers, Lamborghini's dominating.
Really?
But I really think it's just their ability to market. They know how to market something, and they focused on that versus other people have really just said, Ferrari is really that. I'm just going to let it sell itself, and Porsche does good things from time to time, but they don't really push it anymore. And now they're getting caught up in that we're making electric cars and we need to survive after electric comes out. So they're marketing in a whole different way. And it is paving the way for Lamborghini to come in and say, we're going to make a V10 supercar. Now, what are you going to do? It leaves everything else in the dust. You know what I mean?
Do So when you acquire one of these, when you're like a first time buyer,
Yeah.
do you have to be asked to buy one? Because I know there's
No.
certain watches or certain things that you have to be an exclusive
For-
club to. So if I
Ferrari-
walk in and I have 240,000, I could go in and buy one of these cars.
Yeah, Ferrari, yes, you're going to need to own something.
Ferrari, you have to be
before
part of the club.
And that is exactly the word you needed to say.
Got it.
Yes.
And
I
why
could
is that?
I
Why
could
is-
probably get a Ferrari if I wanted to, but yeah, it would be if you're a person just walking in and saying I want to get a Ferrari, here's what you're going to get first. And it really is how they learn to sell. It's just how it is. With Lambo, and having sold Lambo myself, there was no point that I didn't have somebody walk in, and there are certain attitudes associated with it. And then certain people that'll come in and say, hey, I want to buy this car, and they can't afford it. Or it will do, you don't go in expecting your bank numbers not to be run. You know what I mean? There's going to be some proofing going on beforehand. You're not just going to go in and turn the keys and drive it. But yeah, once you get over those hurdles, here's your drive or your look or whatever, and you buy the car, and usually you'll order it, and you'll be about 3 months out for the lower, like the Huracans, and 6 months out for like a Aventador. And it just depends on the time too. Sometimes it's busier and sometimes not. And that's it. So
if you say that Lambo's probably the most popular, the most recognized car,
Mhm.
why does Lambo not have the club and Ferrari has? I guess, this
they
club?
do. That's the beauty, is they do have the club, and that you have to be in the club for either group. And I think the idea is people don't realize those clubs exist, and it's because they're among owners and they're among these groups that work together, and they have common things that they share. And it's not just with the cars. It's a lot of the thinking that goes into the back of it. What's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
There's a lot more to it. Like you'd be amazed at how many people you don't realize how bad of an attitude you have until you get in with a group of people who can afford a $500,000 car. That takes a lot of work, and it takes a right mindset to do it. And if you don't have that mindset, you're going to end up clashing with somebody. And like I said, I could probably buy a new Ferrari if I wanted to, but that's because I bring that mindset to the table. I don't go in and say, I'll never own this. I'm never good enough. I'm never going to, you know what I mean? Or people are, the only kind of guys that own Ferraris are stuffy, blah, blah, blah. That's one thing that I've kind of dedicated my life to, is changing the attitude that we have towards not only just supercar owners, but rich people, all this stuff, these people that want to really help you. And a lot of people sabotage the friendships that they have, and it's pretty sad. So
I've come across a lot of people in my life, obviously in my line of work, that have a lot of money. And I think that there's two types of people that I come across that have that mindset.
Yep.
You have people that have a lot of money, but they're very humble. And maybe it's from where they came from to where they are.
It is.
And they appreciate everything, and they appreciate the people that are around them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you have those people that probably acquire money through maybe a family, a family fortune or whatever.
Yes.
And they're dicks,
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't appreciate the hard work that went in that to get that. But I mean, most of the people that I come across that have real money
Mm-hmm.
are not the flashy, and you can tell the difference.
Oh, totally. Right.
You
Mm-hmm.
can tell the difference right away.
Right.
That are not that flashy, you know what I'm getting, that pompous, flashy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bezos, how are you, man? Thanks for hanging out with us this evening.
Mhm.
So, it's
See, the trick is being able to say, I'm going to hang out with the people who are really cool, down to earth, who still dress in regular coats, even though they've got enough money to, buy a mansion or whatever, or buy, whatever corporate building, and then still be friends with the guys who you're like, that guy's got a lot of bad attitude. And that's something that even guys in that world don't always master. And I always say it, I hate to use the word, but it's, for me, it's you got to remain political. In other words, you can't just look at somebody and say that person is a bad person. They've done the steps that it takes to earn whatever they have. I mean, you may say, yeah, you got it from daddy or you got whatever, but to maintain that level takes a certain amount of work. Like it's not, even if you're born as a prince, there's a certain level of attitude that you have to have that's developed. There you go.
Hey, Design, how are you, man? Thanks for checking in with us. If you have not gone over and see his YouTube page, guys, you are missing out on great stuff. This man is fantastic at video, audio editing. Go over and check out his stream. It's really amazing stuff. I mean, his YouTube channel, it's really amazing stuff. Finally caught a stream, always a bad time. It's okay, buddy. We're here. You can always go back and watch the replays too. Right. And then it's crazy because then I think about like if I ever came into a situation where I came into money or won money or whatever, I know for myself, because I know the person that I am, I would continue to be the absolute most humble person on this earth. And it's I think it's strange even to talk like that too sometimes, because as much as we say would I still, there are some people that say, oh, I would still stay, to my roots, I wouldn't change who I am, but money can definitely certainly change people.
Well,
change their mindsets and attitudes.
And that's the problem. See, what everybody says that, and a lot of times you don't. And the reason is because, and I've made some of this transition myself. Once you start off, I started off as a farm boy, and then I came into owning businesses. So now I do all the stuff that I do now. And there's a lot of times that I could probably spend more money on certain things or do whatever, and I don't. But it's the idea that once the people know that you have the money, or they know that you have something, who comes calling? Why do they come calling? You start seeing stuff where you start realizing I've left a lot of friends behind, buddy. I hate to say that. Like you start learning who your friends are when you start changing your life and saying, I want to be a better person. I'm going to put in extra work. People look over and say, oh, you're not coming out and drinking anymore or doing drugs or doing all this other stuff. When you better your life, you're going to knock all those cockroaches loose in the walls. And what do? It's time to change your house. You just do it,
Yeah. It is strange though. It's, I know money, it's got to cause a lot of problems too. I mean, especially with what kind of people can come around that when they know that some money is around too. So you have to really be careful in that sense too. And I'm sure it's very hard to deal with a lot of that when you come into money or a situation like that.
You know what? Okay, this is the funniest thing. So imagine you're playing Grand Theft Auto, right? I know this is a stupid analogy, but it's so cool to put it against it. You're playing Grand Theft Auto, and suddenly you went from $0 to put in enough gameplay to have, like I have, over $65 million in my thing. So I can buy any car in the game, do whatever, right? So I post up a screenshot, and what do people you think ask? Do you think they ask, how do I do that? How do I make that next? What do you think they ask?
How did you buy it?
No. How do you give me some of that money? Just give me $1 million of it. That won't be any skin off your. I put in all that work. That was hundreds of hours of gameplay that I put in to make videos, to do all this stuff, to do this, do the other thing. And you just want to walk in and just be like, hey, can you give me some of that? Or, you know what? I know you bought that $2 million submarine, but you know what? Can you do a couple of missions with this and do it when I feel like doing it, not when you feel like doing it. There are certainly humble people that just say, look, how do I get to that next level? How do I do it? And for people like that, if you're a rich person, and I've yet to see a rich person not doing, I just want to know how to make it to that next level. I don't want all the money. I don't want anybody handing me money. I hate that. I want to know how to do it myself.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's just hard work and grinding.
But that's the thing.
Grinding.
It's smart.
It's not giving up.
It's working smart, not hard. And the thing is, there is going to be hard work, but it's working smart, learning how to invest. But if you look at somebody like that, that's how you make friends with them. They're going to look at you and say, oh, you are really, truly interested genuinely in understanding how to just make yourself better to that next step. And they're on it. Let's do it. And
go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Do you want to take this chat? You can read
it. Right. Agree. It's just a different lifestyle. We just have to keep doing what's right despite the change. that line, to design, I wish I could unpack that for 90% of the population out there, buddy. And I know you've read it and you know what it means, but for a lot of people, they don't get the word just doing the right thing. That's the part that's very difficult for people. And it's usually difficult because they don't think they deserve it. That's the part that's sad in our world, where when you go to school, when you go to your friends, if any of the people in your life are telling you that you can't do something and continually pounding you down, you start believing it. I think we were talking about this earlier, that you constantly get negative influences in your life. And those negative influences are the things that are polarizing you. Obviously, constructive criticism is great. I'll take constructive criticism any day of the week because it's somebody who cares. My best teachers came in and told me I sucked. They didn't do it in a bad way. This is how you suck. This is how we're going to make you better. It was 1, 2, 3. And if I was dedicated, I could get to that level. But if you have people that are really just like, we had somebody one time when we started our soap business, and I said, this is easily $1 million business. And they were like, what? That's impossible. They didn't even bat an eye. That would never happen. What do you mean it would never happen? What about all the other Crocs, the pet rock, you know what I mean? Like all these different things out there, the stupid things that people have gotten rich off of. Think about that. If that stuff could work, why can't your soap business take off? So
yeah, and you know, I even look at this thing too. Like, just real quick, Joe says, if you come into big money, you have to keep a circle as tight as you did when you were poor. I completely agree. Like, you know, I look at like Design. Design has over 10,000 subscribers on his channel.
Right.
You know, 10,000 natural subscribers on his channel. That guy grinded. Okay.
Right.
But I'm sure that when he started, people probably called him and said, you're crazy. You know?
Right.
And now I don't
this
know,
YouTube thing will never work.
Right. You know, and that's why I sit here and I grind and I believe in this vision, and I know it's going to take a long time.
Right.
But if you keep grinding and putting your efforts forward, people will see that, and you might catch the right person at the right time in the right situation. Right. But you know, like I've always said from this, I like to entertain and I like to talk, and that's why I do this. I love it for the joy of doing that. And I've always thought in my head, growing up as a small child all the way up to now as an adult, I've always had this vision that something big is going to happen, you know, whatever that is. I don't know if it's going to be in life or in death, but I'm still going to chase that. And I don't know if that's just something that all people manifest inside themselves. I'm sure you have a lot of visions and goals as well, and a lot of things that you've done through your life, through your entertaining YouTube career, radio career, you know. But I've always felt that I've always been destined to do a big thing. And I know I probably sound like a very crazy Jesus wacko, you know, like it's not one of those things.
Think about it like
envisioning your future and having that vision board. You know, and real quick, you know, and I kind of want to bring this in because I do have a couple of people watching. You know, I look at an example, and I'm gonna call him out again. Anthony Farah, Timepiece Gentleman. If you're watching, I definitely would love to have you on the show. Tell us your story. And you know, I gotta say this. A year ago, this channel started with basically ripping that guy, really ripping him for some stunts that he pulled, and you know, it kind of played out over this year. And as I kind of started to watch him and watch his channel more, I'm like, this dude grinds. He just grinds day in, day out. Now, over the last couple of months, there's been some shit that has come out about him, his past. And there's a guy that's really beating him up right now on YouTube. And I'm not going to say that channel. I'm sure the watch people that are watching this are very familiar with what's going on. But despite all that's going on, you know, and this is really affecting his business now. And Anthony actually just launched a video today and said, this guy literally had almost genuine tears in his eyes, but he's like, I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep doing this. And there's days that I get up and roll out of bed and I go, I'm just going to quit this YouTube thing. But you know, like it's a grind. It's hard. And there's days that I literally drive and like, I'm so attached to this channel. I won't give it up. I won't stop, you know, like, And that's the mindset of someone that can be a true millionaire. It can happen, but you have to put the time in.
Well, it's the thing about when we were, so we oh yeah, I want to read that design. Did you miss the one that he said before?
So let's do this one quick. Very true. One viewer said you cannot review a watch you have until it's
have not
in your
handled.
hand. Right.
Yeah.
And that's totally false. You can review anything that you don't have by the power of creativity. And that's the beautiful thing about YouTube. You can become very creative. If you want to take this one.
I worked hard to prove that idea wrong, not the person who said it. I think I've proven I could. Mm-hmm. So the two things that I can't, we're going through so much stuff. I'm losing track of what I was doing.
We tend to talk long. I am a long talker and you're a long talker, so we work very well together.
Right. But no, so Joe said you want to keep your circle small. And the thing is that when you first get your stuff going and you start fix yourself, you will keep your circle small. What I want to tell people is you have to learn what your circle looks like and what your circle should be. And maybe take a psychology class or something like that to kind of understand the psychology of what you're dealing with and the people that change. And then once you find the good people, it becomes normal. Bad people hate me, and I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. And that's something that some people, right?
There's a lot of people that hate me. It is an example. I will post a live stream. We haven't even gone live yet. And instantly in 2 seconds, there's already an automatic downvote. There's someone that literally subscribes to this channel that every time within a millisecond a video is posted or a notification, they're always downvoting. They fucking hate me. But you know what? That person's not going to stop me from what I'm doing.
Well, that's your drive.
Drive me and strive me to go to be better.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to say is that you were talking about doing this thing right now, and this is kind of your first foray into it. Think about all the stuff I left behind because I didn't have this platform, because somebody said, you're wasting your time putting that on Street Fire. You're wasting your time putting that on LimeWire. You're wasting your time putting a VHS video together and trying to sell it out of the back of your car. And now I see people that did what I did and they have huge success. Like, it's just so bad because it's like, I had those negative mindsets and I had to beat them. But what we did, so I ended up helping, it was a 2-man team, but we were filming a, commercial on Sunday, I think it was. And I got up in the morning. It's getting up at 5 a.m. So this is on a Sunday. When you guys are taking days off, I'm planning to get up at 5 a.m. to go film for probably 6 hours. And my daughter was sick. It was freezing cold. I wasn't feeling well. I'm just gotten over the flu or something. I knew it was that. And I said this to him. He goes, well, if you're not feeling well, you don't have to do it. And I was like, I will not give myself that option. Mm-hmm. Even when I wasn't driven to do it, because I say, this isn't what I do. It's who I am. It's inversed. This thing is me. But I got up at 5 a.m, went and did that. I had 4 hours of sleep. I went the whole day. I didn't stop on Sunday until 10 at night, at which point I probably went to sleep at 11:30 and was like, can we get up again at 5 and do that all over again? If you have that driven mindset to do it, then yeah, you can do it. But if you're looking at me saying, I posted this on somebody, everybody gives me attitude about it when I say it. I said, the reason that you're not succeeding and the other person is because you're asking how I can do less than 40 hours a week. And the guy that's succeeding is saying, how do I work on Sunday? That's a huge, and that's exactly what I've been doing. I didn't stop no matter what. I've been reprimanded at work because I was putting in too much work. I've literally had somebody at work tell me, why are you doing all this work? You should only be doing the stuff in your box.
Right.
And I'm going, these new things that you have at your store, the reason that a big manufacturer called me on the phone and said, look, can you come to New Jersey and teach everybody in the world to sell cars like you do? Mm-hmm. Is the reason why I'm in it. But it's also the reason that I got out, because the leaders that were involved in what I was doing I was leading it, creating something new. Everybody was saying it wouldn't work. I made it work. Then they just take it from me and give it to some idiot out there that would just throw it away. That's when you start going, okay, this is why people are ruined. I looked over and I was like, I'm done with that. I'm going to take what I got. I'm not going to earn somebody else a Lambo. I'm going to go out and I'm going to earn it myself.
Mhm.
And we opened business after business after business after business. And yeah, I invested. There's a lot of times when I put in a lot of late work to make sure it worked, but it is what it is.
And people, and they have to realize too, and real quick, I just want to get to this.
Yeah, please.
Joe says, preach Brian Primo. Love this
Yeah.
channel. Great stuff. Keep that grind going for sure. Thank you, Joe. I really do appreciate that. And he says, Primo knows a lot of people that hate me. I embrace the hate. Hate motivates. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
So the thing that I want to make very clear too, that, being rich doesn't necessarily mean money. You can be
Exactly.
rich in many other ways if you put out a hard work in the end of the day, and it elevates your life in any way. That's being rich. Like I look at, every year I always look at, as you grow and get older, you should be leveling up. You should be leveling up your life. You should be gaining a new skill or meeting some new people or setting a new goal or going on a new adventure or, look, I started this I look at this, like I just started this kind of joking around, and I look at the catastrophe it was when I first started a year ago to, where it is now. And I know I've navigated and shifted and changed a little bit, but I'm finding my way. And, and this probably will change a little bit more as we go. It's just finding that roadmap to success.
But I love looking at your old videos, and that's the thing is, and it's not, I know it's weird because there's a lot of, I want to say, and maybe this is an arrogant statement, but whatever. There's a lot of big stars out there that I've seen and watched kind of their original mixtapes. You know what I mean? Like the thing about where they were sitting in their closet filming themselves with like whatever they could get their hands on or some cheap camera, just to be able to do what they love doing.
Steven Crowder used to film in his closet with a
perfect.
green
He's
screen.
A perfect example of what I'm talking about. Yeah. So the thing is when I said I was getting serious with what I was doing now, and remember, it is all about just getting in the room and doing it. I had thousands of dollars of equipment. And I made myself get my phone. If you ever go over to my channel and look at it, I made myself get my iPhone, sit in front of my car and make the worst, shakiest, crappiest video possible. And then said, this is as bad as it gets. You can't make a worse video than this right now. And you just put that up. Everything up from here is up. And use that drive to continue to make content that was better and better and better. And you just continue to learn. But I'm just as proud of that little crappy iPhone video as I am of the stuff that I've made that has 200,000 views or plus on it. You know what I mean? It all has its level of value. And some of the crappy videos for me, they got 34 views means more to me than, you know what I mean? The stuff that actually hit and everybody loved it.
Design says he still makes videos just using iPhone and iPad. Yeah, and this guy's a whiz at it. And it's funny because I actually just reached out to Design the other day, and I said, hey, I know you're an Apple guy, and I've been thinking about maybe switching my setup, maybe going Apple. And then he just said, I really would stay PC because there's so much more versatility. And I actually did go out and buy a new PC, and God, for what I paid for it now versus what I probably would have paid 2 years ago pre-pandemic, I would have had much more computer than what I have right now.
And that's the thing I want to ask Design if he was around during the 99 to 2000s when we were doing videos in 90. I'm going to go in the 2000. It was probably 98 to 2001, 2002 era. Everybody that was a graphic designer, anybody that did that stuff was all Apple. Like you couldn't get good PC graphic stuff. The stuff that they had out there was big. And then I want to say it was kind of Sony Vegas that kind of changed the whole platform. Suddenly PC guys could make good videos and they had good editing potential. And that was the new face of it. And funny enough, I ended up using that program and a couple of different ones and making some really cool little I guess gaming videos, but I made some car videos, but the gaming videos was what everybody wanted. You know what I mean? But I had a lot of fun with that stuff, and it was really, really weird time, and the differences between then and now.
Check this out, man.
Yeah.
Design, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to play one of your videos right now.
I know, right?
I want to show Primo. He says, oh, yes, I used to edit with
yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. The dual VHS recorder. Oh, that was the day, man.
Me and a buddy of mine, when we started getting serious and playing instruments as we were kids, his parents, and we were so lucky. His parents had a VHS camcorder,
Yes.
and we used to go down. And that was kind of embarrassing, but we used to go down and set the camera up and like play like Slayer. I think there's probably tapes that he's still floating around. We would play like Slayer songs or Metallica and act like we were the people in the band, like playing, because we just wanted to be rock star. We wanted to be on camera.
Right.
Design gave me permission. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
There you go.
Hang on one second. Let me
As he
pull
pops it off the window, he's like, yeah, I got
No,
permission. Now I'm going away.
No. I'm gonna hang on.
He's
I want-
finding the perfect video is what he's doing.
I want to show you his editing style. It's so amazing what he does.
You know, while we're talking about that too, to jump over, Gilbert Godfrey dying.
Yes.
How crazy is that,
It
man?
sucks. He had a long battle with an illness. I don't know if they revealed it, but
Yeah, they did. I can't pronounce it, but it's they feel like a version of like MS or something, but it was really crazy. All right, look what do you got here. Hit me.
And I love his intros. He usually does a lot of like comedy in his intros, but
Nice.
we'll check this out.
Watch we get a copyright strike.
He's gonna copyright strike.
Listen, and I couldn't be happier to get
I love
this
his
one in
videos.
for review.
Look at this.
That's nice. There you go.
So good.
This video is brought to you by Christopher Ward.
Good for you, man.
The C63 Sealander Elite is a very spec-heavy offering.
Now this is
from
all. I think
Christopher
he does
Ward.
everything on an
This is a
iPad.
very compact watch with a 40mm diameter, 47mm lug-to-lug distance, and a strap-friendly 20mm lug width. Continuing the compact form is the 10.7mm thickness, including that beveled crystal. The crown sits flush to the case.
I'm
and
curious
is not
about how
heavy,
he gets
but
the
it still manages to achieve
the
a
images the way they
150
are.
distance.
Like that allows you to kind of
Inside
see
is a Salita
and edit that way.
SW200
So you
caliber
can
that
put
beats
the
at
little
4
things in.
hertz, has a 30
Everything in
hour
iPad.
power
Wow.
reserve, and is
But and I don't know. He may show the watch, but I'm just because. But this is what he's saying, that you can review a watch without the
Yeah.
product. This is
Right.
a clear example of how doing it. And this is
Mhm.
where it goes to just making great content. And it doesn't have to be when you first start this sophisticated, but you can come up with something, I'm sure. Or
Right.
even if you just had a photo of it, just
Right.
show the picture. And
Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to say this, and this is something that I think is very important. Everybody will look at this, and what's not just the video itself, but what's your first question when somebody says that's a great video? What's the question that you ask?
how did you do it?
Or how many views did you get?
Right. How many views did you get?
And I keep telling people, I'm like, it's not the number of views you get, it's the quality of the views you get.
Right.
You would be amazed at how many places out there that can get 1,000, 1,500 views, whatever on a channel, but they're being able to do something like this. They have a secondary income base. You can sell shirts, you can sell other things
Right.
with it. There's this connected thing to it. And so it's not just about AdSense. Think about outside the box, people. It's you. Think about it as a designer. Like, you know what? If you're going to sell a watch, sell this watch, sell whatever, give people links to do stuff. And those 1,000 views, which would turn into maybe 0.01 cent per view or whatever, turns into $80 from an affiliate link or $100 on something else. It's all the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was a hard lesson for me to learn when I had somebody that was teaching me marketing, and they looked over and they said, well, why are you stuck in the count box? Because you will literally chase that
Oh,
number.
it'll drive nuts. It would drive you
It-
nuts. But the
oh,
thing
yeah.
you have to keep in mind, what you do now
Mhm.
is not, and I'm sure design knows this too.
Yep.
What you do now is not going to catch on in YouTube for about 2 to 3 months.
Right.
That's usually when you get scooped up in the algorithm and it gets pushed. I have videos from a year ago that are just hitting hard now.
Well,
So
let's
That's
be
the thing. Make the content, post it, and it'll come up. But anyway,
people don't realize now still that YouTube, and I'm on the YouTube list, so they send the email to me about what they've been working on. They have their own videos and stuff, and they're still learning how to do YouTube Live. They still haven't gotten that algorithm right. So yes, exactly. I started out with my own money. Now brands send me watches to review and keep. Done. Yep.
Great.
By the way, design, if you want it to put you in
with
comparison, I I get keys to cars all the time, and they give me these cars to like $500,000 cars, and I get to drive them around with a video camera in it. And to this day, I still look at myself and said, "What the heck did I do to deserve that?" Like, I'm just like, I'm in a car, and most people were sitting in it. They go, "Aren't you worried about breaking in it?" And I go, I don't want to know that information because I might put the keys back and go, I could hurt that, Instead, I'm driving it out there like doing donuts with it. Oh yeah, it gets crazy.
of variations per day. Rounding the spec sheet is the durable sapphire crystal, both on front and back of the watch.
Beautiful.
And all
His
of this
visuals are
is
so
housed
good.
in a full grade 2
I want to
titanium
get
case
to this
and
level
bracelet.
someday, buddy.
Yeah.
Initial
Look at
impressions
this.
suggest that the Sealander Elite is lighter than your typical metal watch, but it doesn't seem to have that feathery light titanium weight. It actually feels just a tad lighter than stainless steel. I don't know how CW did it, but there is a heft that I feel on my hand. It certainly is streamlined for many reasons. On the wrist, it's one of the better wearing fielders out there
Look at this.
because of the generous curving
Look at
lugs, and obviously
He's got
that's
that punch
visually
look. Like I'm
non-existent
gonna punch
crown.
somebody. Like that's strong.
The
It's a
thickness
strong. Like
also
I
I'm.
love how he
helps provide
pins
a
in all
sense
his
of comfort,
graphics. Like he'll have
knowing
all
there
the
are
graphics pinned
less
in.
instances that you'll
Very
not miss
visual.
around.
Yeah.
So how about that recessed crown? With a light press, the crown pops out ready for you to set the time. Winding the crown feels rather unusual because of that
Yes,
narrow
since
grid
it's I
circles.
actually work with an
Aside from
ad,
that,
and I'm
you can
regularly handing
definitely
50 to
identify this
200K.
elite
That's
of
not
plates
awesome.
and
It's so
turns.
cool.
This feature is a definite highlight of the Sealander Elite that's also found on the Omega Aquaterra Ultralight, which you can also buy if you have $44,000 of spare change.
There you go. I
After
like it.
setting the time, you can simply push the crown back in, and you have a very clean and symmetrical looking case. This is a non-threaded crown, so you need to keep it out of sight and water sealed. The bracelet also packs some great mechanical details.
Design. I like the
such as
Christopher
glass
Ward
mark
Moon
adjustments,
Glow.
perfect for
That watch has
on-the-fly
always
wrist sizing,
kind of stuck
and
out to me.
twin lever
I
bracelet
don't know if you've
release
seen
end
that in
links,
person,
making
but
it easy to swap
I really
bracelets
like
or
it.
bands. Christopher Ward continues to push its design
great.
where
Look
its
at this.
followers would find great value.
Makes it look easy. If I
Yeah.
did that,
Throughout the
I'd think
development
the whole
Look at
thing would
this.
fall
See how he
apart.
does this with his.
Design, the
Watch
brand
that.
settled
I
with
love
its
that.
own
Those
blend of
transitions are
case
So
awesome.
good. I love
Throughout the
this.
development
Look at that.
stages of
Yeah.
the watch design, the brand settled with its own blend of case identity.
Look at this.
Dubbed the
I
Light
love
Catcher
that. That's
case.
awesome.
He's so good
This
at it.
sculpting direction differs from model to model, but is characterized by its combination of curved lines and carefully placed
And this is
polished
all his
chamfers.
artwork too, as well.
We've handled a steel light catcher case before, and I'm pleasantly surprised how it translates
His
on a
transitions
darker
are
toned
amazing.
metal like titanium. While most of the watch almost looks like matte finish, the polished bevels cast great deep shadows and reflects light as expected. Achieving this kind of luster on titanium is noteworthy, uncommon even. I love the light catcher case, so much so that it disappointed me when it's not present on the bracelet. Well, it's not the light catcher
I love
bracelet
it.
after all, isn't it? Underneath the case is your typical affair with the display caseback and its usual watch markings. Through the glass, the caliber's decorated surfaces dazzles and delights with any passing gleam. The dial side shares the same light exhibition but on a different manner. The hands have this flat brush treatment that creates a three-facet combo
Wow.
with its polished edges.
Wow.
Exactly.
This
Good
See?
for
gives a
you.
distinct shimmer and
What I'm
definition
talking
to the
about.
hands, no matter what angle you look at it. This is
Design. You know what I'd love to have you? I'd love to have you come on someday and we walk through a video and just give us some insights of how you work your YouTube channel.
would
think that'd be
love
really
that.
great. Your creative process. If you ever want
Mhm.
to do that, reach out to me. We'll set up a time and we can go through like the art of creating videos on YouTube because you're so good at it. And you can maybe talk to us about how you started your journey, how you got through, and how you're at this current phase now. I'd love to hear that story. And I think that would be a great subject for this channel. But
And
I always
I-
thoroughly enjoy watching his videos.
I love any time you can work with, and I'm going to call this, and I know he's probably going to say, don't say it, but you work with a master. Everybody has different styles, like certain great guys. In other words, if you ask Spielberg and Lucas make two different kinds of movies and that kind of thing. But the YouTube space has really given us the ability to see different styles that normally would not be gripped by mainstream media. And I think it's kind of sad because now you see this right here, and he's going to present something that later on would get picked up by a professional place and would be able to redo it. And the thing that really kills me is like I would look at them and say, look, if design is doing it and somebody else is taking it, hire design to do it. Like say, hey, yeah, we need this TV show. Get in touch with us. Stuff like that has happened to me, but it hasn't happened on the level I think that like he deserves. Like somebody would call up, but it's being able to work with people together to make the quality is just awesome. I grew up watching Movie Magic from Discovery Channel.
I was going to say, like his reviews and his style to me is almost like a magician style,
Right.
and that's what I really love about it. He's really mastered that, and I'm sure it took a long time to learn that stuff,
Right.
or maybe it just comes very natural to him. To me, that would just take a long time to learn. But let's finish this out.
It's
I'm really,
complemented by a
I really
textured
love this.
dial that also attracts light nicely. These are just a few of the great design decisions on the Sealander Elite.
Have you seen the
Applied
moon glow
emphasis,
in
sprinkles of
person
orange
design?
highlights, and
I'd be
the
curious.
bold signature
That's a
trident.
watch that's always
It's a
caught my eye.
well-layered and textured dial. They're also functional, lest we forget about that gorgeous X1 Super Luminova. Christopher Ward did much of the work to ensure you'd be able to enjoy this
I knew
watch
it.
in
I
various
knew it was coming.
situations. Now let's do our part
Look at
and
this.
drop it in those scenarios. On an all-black sailcloth strap by Artem, it gives a simple yet capable feel for a tool watch.
Yeah, he's adding
The eyes now
animation
focus on what
to
matters
So
the
good.
most,
I
the
can-
dial,
yeah.
while
It's so
enjoying
good.
the
It's
soft
animation
benefits of
connection.
titanium.
It really is like
Pair
that
this
two
up with your
piece.
favorite knife and you're ready to conquer the great outdoors.
Ah.
Adding some stitching on that band spices
Good to
up the
know.
watch with a bit of character. In this setup, both the case and watch
Love that strap,
have
by the
their
way.
fair share
Yeah, that is
of
a
the
nice.
spotlight.
The sailcloth strap.
Now let's use this same idea,
Get
but
the-
on
the
a
reverse
lighter
stitching.
strap with
Are we-
quite a bit of taper.
I think.
Strap
are we
tapering
talk-
should not be
we're
ignored, as
talking
this contributes to the
watches.
wearability
No,
of
I don't know what you're talking
with this
about.
smaller buckle.
That
and
looks great too.
strap, and
I
there
really
is
like this
more room
watch
for your
now.
wrist to
I think this
operate.
is really good.
This also gives a pleasing, natural
nice
line
watch.
of progression between the case and band. This particular example also has a suede texture that
good.
further gives a vintage look to the Sealander. Now let's swap this out for one of Artem's new premium
that.
fabric straps that
Boom.
also happens to have a matching orange pinstripe. Now this is a match made in microbrand heaven. It adds a little thickness to the watch, and the streamlined proportions sort of gets diluted in a way, but it looks and feels so good to wear even on this 6¼ inch wrist.
That's great.
Back
He's
to
got
its
the
titanium
bracelet
band, the
back on it.
Sealander Elite proves itself ready to tackle the toughest and harshest environments.
Good stuff.
Although we don't have those harsh locations, we do have some beautifully challenging places we can bring
Ah.
this thing along.
So he lives in Aruba, by the way.
Priced
Lucky.
at $1,600.
Right.
Sealander Elite is not
I'm
your
just gonna go out
average
to my
microbrand
beachfront
or
property and check out my new
full-titanium
watch.
It is a touch more costly, but
Must be
it
tough.
more than makes it up
Joe's
for its
being
not
honest.
so
I love
average
Joe. He said,
features.
not a big watch guy,
A
but I just
carefully
subbed to
designed
Design's channel
hanging
solely based
instrument
on the
that
content
catches light
quality,
expert.
and maybe I'll learn a thing about watches too.
Elite is
Yep.
a very appropriate
That's awesome,
monitor
Joe.
for this upscale fielder. It's a solid selection for anyone looking for a full titanium
Now,
automatic watch.
Design
or
is one of the
anything
good
you
guys
score
in
for.
this game. I really, he's a sweet guy. I love his content. And
Nice.
Jay, I can actually say his name. So.
There you go.
Good stuff, Jay. I love it. But let's do something sometime, Jay, when you have some time. I know you're very very busy in your business, but let's reach out.
Busy in his business?
He's
Does
busy
he
in his
watch?
business.
Does he watch watches when he's busy in his business?
Busy in his business.
He swims in the swims in the swimmer.
She sells seashells on the seashore. Hey, I did it.
She sells seashells by the seashore. Can you say rubber baby buggy bumpers?
No, I can't say that.
2 weeks from now, we got a date, buddy.
Awesome, Jay.
Jay's on the show. Let's do it.
Appreciate it.
Hey, and you know what? For those out there, we'll be talking watches.
Jay, you pick. It could be a Wednesday or Sunday night. We usually do 8 p.m., but if you need to go a little bit later, we can do that as well too. We'll adjust to your time. So.
We'll adjust to your Aruba schedule.
And I'm thinking about maybe bumping the show up a half an hour because it seemed that everybody kind of comes in around 8:30. So
Okay.
maybe we'll
I'd be
I don't
that
know.
way.
Maybe we'll make the adjustment.
I guess I'll have to stay up a little bit later. All right. Let me go ruin my daughter's night and tell you got to go to bed 30 minutes later than usual. Sorry, babe.
So
I think we should go to Jay's house in Aruba and do the show from there. And then I think that would make life easier. He's okay with having us, right?
we can just go hang out on that beach it was just on.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather be there right now.
Film right on the beach. Just be like, hey, how's it going? The wind blowing and everything. And be like, yeah, we had to scrap the footage, but it was a great time being on the beach.
Yes, Joe. Aruba is Eastern Standard. I think you're probably only an hour behind. I think he's only an hour behind. And Jay is saying, let's do it when I have new. Oh, cool.
There you go. Oh.
And he said, let's come. He's inviting us. So all we need to do is just book some flights and go.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's 9:05 in Aruba right now. So he is in the exact time zone. Nice.
I wonder how long that flight is. How long is that flight from New York, Jay? Probably a couple hours. What, 4 or 5 hours probably? I gotta go. Screw this.
I know. I've never been to Aruba, so I'm kind of like, oh, okay. 4 hours and 40 minutes from a nonstop from New York.
That's like going from here to Texas. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Or
I did that. No, my flight from New York to Vegas, I did one nonstop. You couldn't get a nonstop on the way back, but when I did the one going into Vegas, it was about the same time. Mm-hmm. And that was a rough day, man. This had some turbulence coming back, and then that air out there is because it's so dry. You know what I mean? It's rough.
So I'm saying, I believe Let's Talk Live will need an intern to come along. Just
there you go, Joe. Joe, you can be you do the producer position, so you'll be the guy in the back. You'll be like, yeah, the lighting's great. I know what you need more in this beach picture. Sand.
We're gonna take Jinxie Cat too.
There you go. Jinxie will blend in with the sand. We'll lose her.
Yeah, I know. He'll blend in. Huh.
That would be great.
This is actually the most calmest he's been all day long.
Wow.
New kittens, man, they run all over the place, but this is my bud. Huh. I know. You score me right now. We'll put you on your little perch.
Well, you know what? If they want to see Jinxie, there's a channel.
That's right. I started a channel. Let me if you guys want to subscribe, hang on. I'll drop.
Yeah, pull that up, man. They got to see that.
I'll drop the Jinxie link. We're gonna get the channel going. Imagine if that channel becomes more popular.
Oh, dude, it's gonna happen. It's so bad. Oh man, what's your cat content? Like, can you? Yeah, I want to see the people subscribe to that. Like, it's I literally it's gonna be everybody.
I threw this together just for S's and G's.
Yeah.
But I got a couple of videos up there tomorrow posted. And a couple of views, but
already 27,000 views.
I wish. That's my other channel.
I bet it gets monetized in like 30 days.
It's gonna be like a month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You got to get it too. You got to keep busy with it.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna plan to do like an introductory video because I have no idea what this cat's breed is, and I want to kind of put that out there. I think it's either a Himalayan or it might be a long-haired Siamese. But
I'm gonna challenge everybody that's watching this video to go over to the Jinxie the Cat channel, and on his video where it says what is this cat's lineage or whatever, I want you to make something up. Like toiletry cat or something it's got to be totally off the wall too. Like, I don't want anything good. Like, there's going to be guys and they go like, what are these guys talking about? It's going to be great. I can't wait when you put that video up, I'm going over and I'm going to, every of one of my YouTube's accounts is going to respond with some weird thing. It'll be like, is that a sand cat? Cause I've never seen one of those sand cats.
I've never seen a Herman cat. I don't know.
Guys, please, if you watch the stream, make sure to upvote this. We got to get these. We got to get this podcast out in the algorithm. It's killing me here. It's killing me. We got to get on the bigger things here. But it's growing, and I love it. A lot of great response since the channel's pivoted, and again, I'm really enjoying it.
I'm just happy that every time we put up a video that YouTube lets me know. I mean, I feel like I've defeated my other channel doesn't get that. So it used to be so hit or miss, dude. It was so funny. Like, you put up a video and I'm like, maybe it gets a, like maybe
Dude,
it shows up, but
YouTube's a weird thing because I've actually been experimenting, as you know, you and I talk a lot, and I've been doing a lot of the same topics, like these really big celebrity channel. I call them celebrities. And it's like,
Right.
YouTube to me used to be for the people. And now it just seems like it's really gets pushed by like a handful of people.
that was my point before.
It's
It
super
just,
aggravating, dude.
yeah.
Because it's like there's some really great content on these channels that some of these people only have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And it sucks because a celebrity could start a channel and in 10 days it's monetized and they have 1 million subscribers.
And that's
like,
and that really is the part where I look at these new guys, especially. So I help people that do.
it's whining a little bit right now.
No, don't. But you can't whine because, like I said, you get these new content creators, and I'm not saying that everybody that does the car videos that I help are actually great at making videos. They all have their level. So for Jinxie, nice. Yeah, but they're not all good. I'm not saying that, but I told them, I said, they were like, well, what should I do for my first video? Or, what, I want to get this thing and this thing and this thing before I do my first video. And I go, you're already messing up.
Yeah.
You need to just do it. You need to go out and just start making these videos,
Right.
putting this content out there, because number one, you're either never going to do it. You're never going to be happy with all your stuff. And when you finally put a video up and it gets 3 views, it's going to destroy you. You spent all this money just to get a couple of views. Nobody starts this game out in the 20,000.
I think some of those views on some things too are bot views too. I think there's because I just there's some speculation that I see in some channels where I'm like, that person's not that popular that they're getting them. It's just there's a lot of suspect things I see. Like some of these channels that might have 300,000-400,000 subscribers, they drop a video and then in 30 minutes they have 200 views on it. I'm like, it's a little weird, sus.
I would say it's funny because I both say you'd be shocked at how many times they don't pay for stuff, but you'd also be shocked at how many times they do. So I wouldn't. It's very hard for me to say percentage wise, but I can't say that you're wrong and I can't say that you're right. Do you know what I mean? So there are definitely people that buy views. I've seen them do it. 100%. I know, but the thing is at the end of the day, what does it get you? It doesn't do anything for you. There's no sustainability there. The one time that it was so funny, I paid for advertising through YouTube, and they were like, we're guaranteed to get you 20 subscribers for this thing. And I forgot how much I paid for it. And remember, this was back when they were like, if you buy a third party, you're probably going to get banned. Like it was really critical. And so I paid for advertising. I got 20 subscribers. And then after a while, you start seeing the 20 subscribers bleed off.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. Like it just, but so like I said, it's all a game. It's all made to, flaunt this one thing or the other thing. And reality, here's my thing. Just make good content.
Yeah.
And like being not happy is a fuel, but it should never put a break on your content. Right. And the other thing that I should say, design, if I'm going to add to this, being happy about your content is fuel too. So if you're making good content and making the content that you're happy with, and you're continuing to make good content, don't let the naysayers, the rule is don't look at the comments. I look at the comments all the time and I'm okay with it. You just have that thick skin. Like, in other words, if somebody gives you and says that sucks and you really believe that they're right about it sucking, then do something to fix it. Don't just sweep it under the table. But if somebody says something like this sucks because of this, or you're not looking at this long enough, or, design didn't spend enough time talking about the lug or whatever, people are going to be trolls. It is what it is. So there's always one guy that votes you down, right?
Yeah, there's one guy that always votes me down. I think that's just a strange, weird thing. Like, there's people that actually subscribe to your channel because they hate you, and then there's just their business is just to try to get under your skin.
Think about Howard Stern, man. His whole business model was people who hate me watch me.
Yeah. Well, I always say if people hate you and they do certain things to destroy you, that means you're doing something right.
Right, exactly. But there was a thing that somebody taught me a while back, and I think it was one of the weirdest, best lessons I ever learned. Is they said when you get big, something's going to tear you down, And it has always happened with me every time I try to do so. Every time greatness presents itself to me, there's something that tries to pull the rug out from under me. And the comment he said was, don't think of that as a bad thing. He says, this is the universe just trying to prove that you're genuine about what you want. So if you get the rug pulled out from under you and you're still standing and then you're still pushing forward, there's nothing. The world has to give in at some point. It is just like other people are not dedicated enough to put in the time that it takes to succeed in a channel. Trust me, the people who are pushing against you for your success are even lazier. There comes a point when they go, look, he's going to succeed, and that is what it is. And it's a battle of attrition. I'm just going to live longer than they are. And that's the truth.
Well, that's why I always said is you know, I'm never going to stop this. I'm always going to keep going. I'm going to keep grinding and keep doing this and putting content out. And
it's like my first marriage. It didn't work out. I tried for another one. I mean, if this one doesn't work out, I go for a third one. Maybe I have a mistress. I don't know. It gets crazy up in here. I don't know what it is.
Too much.
So my wife is watching right now going, you did what? What did you just say?
So
you got some explaining to Lucy.
We're at the hour and 10. We usually, like to try to keep it to an hour because the algorithm. Oh, real quick, Joe's saying, I was in radio. I said it with my. I am so bad at reading. Like I cannot.
You want me to take it?
Let
me take it.
Because my brain.
I'm going to do what
I'm literally dyslexic. I swear.
We'll do it. We'll do it from what we did at the last show. Joe Farrow. I was in radio. I just said it with my chest and made my bullshit sound like I knew what I was talking about, and it worked mostly.
LOL.
Joe, the voiceovers with your writing, I am there for you, buddy.
This guy right here is gonna make an impact.
He's battling off a third. It looks like he's got a bum toe there, and after his bad sexual experience last night, we're not really sure he's going to be hitting too well, and he's hungover as well. So, too much information, Mr. Announcer.
All right, dude. I say we wrap this one.
I say we wrap it.
It was a great show. It was a really fun show, and I appreciate all the participants in the audience. I appreciate that. Design, thanks for hanging out. Let us showcase your channel tonight.
2 weeks from now.
Like I said, go over there, subscribe to his channel. We're going to have him on in about 2 weeks.
Right.
Reach out to me. We'll set up a date and time. Like I said, we like to do Wednesdays and Sunday nights. Yep. If we need to adjust the time later at night or whatever for you, we can do that. And Joe, always here.
Yeah,
I love you being over here. Design. Thank you again so much. And,
Jay's going to come over and teach me bad video making later. I mean, he does it really well, but when I do it, he's going to be like, wow, I didn't know you could screw it up that bad. I'm like, I got skill. And then the Jinxie channel.
Go over and subscribe to the Jinxie channel. Jinxie the cat, huh?
Too funny.
I love this. God, I love this cat. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a very cool cat.
It's so
perfect
cool.
Name too.
Yeah. Awesome stuff, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about society. Are we going crazy? Are we losing it? What's going on in the world?
The light.
See you next time. Bye, guys.